Welcome to the Pine Podcast, the real pilot episode
to the Pine.
of the Pine. My name is Rossano Stewart. I'm here with my good friend.
It's your boy Jay Hart.
Jay Hart.
Real name, no gimmicks.
Real name, no gimmicks.
Shout out.
I saw a tweet yesterday on the NFL Network, and I sent you a text message because I thought it was you. It was Jay Hart Music, and I text you, and they were talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I was like, I know Jay didn't switch on me. I know he's a Ravens fan.
Not a chance. You never see me advocating for the Steelers to be at the top of a power rankings. They always got to be at the bottom.
I respect it. I respect the loyalty. So I sent you a text, and you immediately just denied even being associated with that Twitter handle. So I appreciate that. Listen, if the viewers want to get in contact with you, what Twitter handle, Instagram handle, Facebook handle can they at you at to get in contact with you?
Well, the funny thing is that the way they spelled that name on their Twitter handle is how my Facebook is set up.
It tripped me. It scared me.
Yeah, so I'm glad they're trying to get their music popping off using my likeness, but Twitter, Instagram, at the flawless one. Don't judge me. That was 2009 when I got Twitter.
Have a seat on the Pine.
And I was really feeling myself then and my music. And it made sense for the Instagram to just carry over because I couldn't think of a better name.
Shout out. So I have, you can contact me at Stuart Rossano at twitter.com, and I won't divulge my feeling myself handles. So if you guys want to contact us, we'll put our ads and our Instagrams at the bottom of this link on our YouTube page. So that's a great way to interact with us. We'll be broadcasting primarily right now through YouTube. Any local businesses or personal friends you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my boys, Aaron Gibson and Marcel. They got their own podcast, Black is More. It's a pretty fire podcast. So if you've never heard about it, check it out. It's on SoundCloud. You can find it anywhere, really. Easy, accessible. They're talking about topics that really center on people of color and historical contexts and things that apply today, and some good thought-provoking conversations happen on that podcast. So
shout out with people of color encompassing Puerto Rican people, brown, yellow, whatever colors associated on that scale. Check the podcast out.
yeah, Black is More. MOOR.
Check it out. We'll put the link down at the bottom of our page. So let's jump into trending topics. And before I do that, let me give a shout out to Audio Technica. Last podcast, but you guys will never, ever hear because we upgraded our sound equipment.
Yeah.
So we're both rocking the Audio Technica condenser mics.
Yup.
Shout out. We're going to jump into the NFL. It's been a lot going on, to say the least, this past weekend, this past week. But we're going to start strictly with football. And you guys know that football and politics coincide with each other, whether they need to or not. Sports and politics have always done so. But we're going to start with the rookie sensation, Kareem Hunt. Who is this guy that took Larry Johnson's number and made Chiefs fans forget about him, or put the tape on the back of the jersey with Hunt instead of Johnson? Who is this guy?
He would be the guy that fumbled on his first handoff, and I was clowning. And I got embarrassed right after that.
Have a seat on the Pine.
Did you go against him in your fantasy league week one?
But he was on my list of people to draft, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna see it happen first. But yeah, no, that man getting ranked top 5 every week in fantasy now. So
Kareem Hunt is absolutely breaking records. He embarrassed the Patriots. Belichick was like, who is this? New number, who's this? Like, he's been having trouble with the rookies lately. So shout out to Kareem Hunt.
Deshaun Watson cooked him.
Deshaun Watson cooked him. And we got to give a shout out to Deshaun Watson because he was on the precipice of beating a team that has never been beaten by a rookie. Ever.
Yep.
Under the Belichick
You're
years.
listening to the Pine.
In my opinion, I got to give it to Deshaun. I've got some coworkers that call him trash consistently, but you know, the tonality of their voice when I spoke about Deshaun Watson post this game, it changed a little bit. Deshaun Watson was one interception away from making history and just adding on to his resume of greatness. This dude beat Alabama when he was at Clemson, and he almost put it on Belichick in the Angry Patriots. That's how I'm gonna refer to them from now on, the Angry Patriots. Because that's what I feel like that's how they're coming at people this year.
I think you got to even take into consideration the fact that imagine if they can actually run the ball. If the Texans
it would have been crazy.
If they could actually run the ball and they actually had Will Fuller on the field as another receiver, because listen, Bruce Ellington, shout out to you, man, but you're not the number 2 receiver on anybody's team.
Have a seat on the plane.
I don't even know who that guy is. Tell me.
He's the number 2 receiver. He was the kick returner for the 49ers a couple years back.
Okay.
He's acting as their number 2 receiver currently. I mean, he scored a touchdown, so shout out to him. But you know, Will Fuller get back on that field. They actually learn how to run the ball because you know Lamar Miller is talented and can't run for some reason.
It's got to be the offensive line.
Yeah, they got to figure out run blocking, but for whatever reason, Deontay Freeman, when he get on that field, he look like he cooking. So if Lamar Miller don't figure it out soon, it's gonna be the Freeman show.
So shout out to the Texans. Shout out to them making progress. Natural disasters are a way bigger issue than sports, but shout out to them finding some form of future in Deshaun Watson. Shout out. Also want to give a rookie shout out to my boy Jamal Adams, LSU, DBU. If you guys don't know, now you know. I am a huge Jets fan. So any roasting that you guys want to send me, by all means send it.
On the bench,
but I do have
please.
something forward to look to every Sunday in Jamal Adams. He's rocking the 33. He's got the double wristbands on his arms. He looks like a creative player off of Madden. And this dude single-handedly, in my opinion, set the tone to beat the lowly Miami Dolphins. So just let me get this victory. Let me get this victory this week. Jay, I know you had a hard time this week with the Ravens in London. So I got to take this W today.
The Ravens protested that game. That was their form of protest. They just weren't gonna play offense.
Getting smacked like that?
Yeah, they just weren't gonna play offense or defense. They just gonna show up.
However you can get it. However you can get it, you got to get it.
That was their form of protest.
Because
really,
I know
really
now,
Ray
now
Lewis'
any
fault.
protest is being questioned in general now. So
Yeah, so they just didn't play. And really, it's Ray Lewis' fault.
we got so much to get into. You brought up Ray Lewis. He's definitely a trending topic on this.
We gotta get Ray Lewis out of here.
We got on this episode of The Pine.
Yeah, we gotta get him
Ray
out of
Lewis
here.
is confusing me.
He's done.
Ray Lewis is
Have a
confusing
seat on
me.
the pine.
But before we get to Ray Lewis, I gotta get at Coach McAdoo. All right. Am I crazy, or does he look like he's channeling the Bill Parcells look with the hair slicked back? Like, we need to throw up a picture of them side by side, because I feel like Giants management was like, you know what, this guy doesn't have an identity, so we're gonna make him cut his hair, right? So then this dude cut his hair, and then after he cut his hair, you know, he styled it a specific way. And if anybody just go on Google Images and look up Bill Parcells' haircut when he played for the Cowboys, when he was known as that tough, like angry Jersey dude, he had the hair slicked back. McAdoo is channeling this, but doesn't have the same personality. So am I tripping? Am I just like reading too? Is this my conspiracy theory right now?
I was all for him calling out Eli, but listen, you the one calling the plays too, and you can't run the ball either. And y'all got a lot of more issues than Eli out there, because every time you snap the ball, you're getting sacked. Literally, as soon as he snapped the ball, they there. So,
Yeah, the O-line is trash right now.
Super trash. Like,
New York is losing right now. Like the Knicks, the Jets, the Giants. The only person that's winning specifically is
Cardi
Aaron
B.
Judge.
Nope,
Cardi B and Aaron. Yeah, Cardi B and Aaron Judge are winning
Queen
right
Cardi?
now. Queen Cardi. Shout out to Bodak Yellow. Shout out. It's a song that when I'm in the car, I don't want to dance because I can't really get down with the lyrics, but I find myself, my head starts bumping.
She don't dance either. She got bloody moves.
And she got the bloody shoes.
Have a seat on the pine.
Shout out to Cardi B. I think she's number one on the actually
number one
two.
in the no, she's number one in the
She
world.
made it to number one?
Number one in the world, Craig. Top flight security of the world.
Listen.
Queen Cardi. Salute.
If Cardi can shell out some of the success to her New York teams, Queen Cardi, I think we need to put Cardi B in some front offices because she obviously has a formula that's working right now off the single. And boo to all the haters that are hating on Cardi B. It's a lot of haters. I think she posted on her social media account that even the haters dance to her song too. I forgot who was it. Azealia Banks, if I'm not mistaken. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Azealia, she was hating.
And I can't talk too much trash because Azalea's been known to get down on some voodoo type stuff. So
yeah, but she was hating, and then Cardi got her right off of Twitter, posting the video of her singing "Bodak Yellow."
All right.
Have a seat on the pine.
So Cardi, I'm just saying, you riding this wave right now. Shout out to you. Bump the haters. Yeah. Bump the haters.
But let's talk about these Giants real quick. Give me like 2 more seconds on the Giants because
let's go.
Outside
not my Giants. I'm a Jets fan.
I know, but outside the offensive line, I think that's the biggest issue. But Perkins ain't the answer either. The Giants need to make a trade, and the Giants got two running backs out there that can immediately make them better.
I think I know where you're going with this.
You can name them then.
I'm gonna say AP is one of the guys.
That wasn't even on my radar, but AP would.
All right, I'm off. I'm far off right now.
Well, both of them play for the Bengals.
No, are you really?
100%. 100%. That is an immediate upgrade over. That's an immediate upgrade if they can run the ball.
I mean, how many running backs can the Giants hold? They have Vereen, who was supposed to be
injured,
their utility belt, and that didn't work out.
Injured every season.
That didn't work out too well.
Paul Perkins ain't the answer. Gio Bernard's really the person they should be going after. But
okay,
100%.
And you want Hill or Bernard to be coming to the Giants?
I don't want either to be going to the Giants. I'd rather have Gio Bernard in Baltimore. But they got to figure something out.
They have the rookie though? So you're trying to cut down the running back stable to let the rookie running back in Cincinnati get majority of carries. His name escapes me right now.
Joe Mixon.
You want Joe Mixon to be the workhorse?
They already making him the workhorse. He took 65% of their snaps this past week.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
He got all the carries. They used him in the passing game too. So they already started phasing out. They phased out Jeremy Hill already. Jeremy Hill starts every game, plays 3 snaps, and don't play no more.
On the bench, please.
Because Jeremy Hill has been in prime time situations, and I've seen him fumble. I've seen him make mental mistakes on like the biggest stage where he could cement his legacy.
Sure, we also saw Tiki Barber do the same thing.
I did. Well, we can't compare Tiki and Hill.
100%. There's not a comparison. I'm making a point.
Okay, I got you.
And I'm not even a big Jeremy Hill supporter, but
right.
You can't if you put him in the position to be successful. We have watched him be successful. The person we haven't been able to see be successful, or given the position or given the opportunity to be successful, but we see make the most with little is Gio. Gio get on that field and looks explosive. He playmakes. He can make people miss. He's fast, and the Bengals be trashing him because again it's like, okay, well, we just drafted somebody else and they'll take your spot, and it's like, fam, Gio can go be a star on another team.
I believe it in the right system, maybe like the Saints or spread offensive system. I think he definitely can. Looking at Jeremy Hill's stats and his playing type, his body type.
Well, say if Gio got to the Patriots, it's a wrap.
Oh, I mean, the Patriots can get anybody.
Anybody with talent get to the Patriots is a wrap.
Like if AP cops out and goes to the Patriots and gets traded to the Patriots, they're probably gonna win the title, like hands down.
AP turns into Corey Dillon immediately.
Exactly. Kevin Falk, Corey Dillon is ridiculous. Looking at Hill stats, he's not getting a lot of production. He's not really sick. Oh, that's the funny part. He's averaging like 6 carries a game.
Yeah, because they start him, let him play the first series, and then they literally put him on the bench the rest of the game. And then what was happening, but initially it was because they keep getting down and they can't he can't be out there catching, so they were putting Gio in, and then having Gio and Mixon split the time, and then now it's been Mixon's getting the runs and the passes. So Gio's an afterthought now too. So they got your other two running backs, which they told them all that you're all splitting time and you're all going to be in committee. But if I'm Gio, Jeremy Hill, I'm like, yo, fine, get me out of here.
You're listening to The Pine.
I think it may happen. It's possible. It may happen. But I also think if Marvin Lewis...
Well, he right behind them.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis has some dirt on somebody, man. He has to. Yeah. He has to.
But there's a couple teams.
Speaking of dirt in the NFL, we had to get to this. This has been in the news cycle for several days, several months. And it's touched on sports this year, but we're not talking about Donald Trump versus the NFL. And it is a painful thing to listen to see the convoluted thought process of multiple sides of what the issue really is. It started with a lot of people I've been hearing say this whole thing started with Colin Kaepernick. And if we go back in history, players from multiple nationalities in multiple sports have taken stances against social division, racism, ethnic divides, however you want to characterize what the main issue is. And the pushback for bringing attention to it is just surprising to me. It's just surprising to me, but it's surprising to me because this is 2017 and we're still dealing with these issues, human relation issues. What are your thoughts on it, Jay?
You said it. I think it's no different than our track runners in the Olympics throwing up the fist. It's no different than Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown. So sports are a microcosm of society. So the things that you see happen in society are going to be reflected in sports. This is just par for the course.
Shout out.
I agree. I don't understand why people seemingly can't understand or differentiate these issues or understand that I can be patriotic and love America and protest. Because that is what our country was built off.
It was founded on that.
Founded in that. That is as American as you can be, is to protest.
And granted, the protest was a financial protest, but this country was also founded on religious freedoms.
Absolutely.
And so I think
that because they were being oppressed,
right,
and fled to this country for that, right. So now to look back and be upset about people protesting, like that's how discourse is created. It's how dialogue is started, right? People are upset that there is inequities occurring and disproportionate inequities occurring, and we are trying to start a dialogue. And instead of focusing on what the issue is and the reason for why people are trying to create this dialogue, you are making it about something that it is not.
You're listening to The Pine.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. I think what people should be doing when you have these discussions, right? Mm-hmm. Because the majority of people have the power to make changes in their law enforcement community, and just in the general thought process and mindset of individuals that they work with, break bread with, hang out with, is being real about what the key issue is.
Yeah.
And that we can't stress that enough.
I think it's, if people were willing or seemingly willing to just be open to having a dialogue versus being so closed-minded or short-sighted about what is happening and what is occurring, then that would probably ease a lot of tension and would probably help people understand both sides either way, right? So in this context, right, just people acknowledging the fact that, yeah, there might be a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
that is a start. That is a start, recognizing an issue.
Police are walking up on teenage kids and murdering them because they have toys in their hands. Like, you know what? That isn't right. It didn't pass the smell test to me, right? Versus when that happens, well, what did that kid do?
Right.
And that's seemingly only disproportionately happening when they are people of color being involved in these scenarios. Right?
Correct.
So that would be like if the little baby that got attacked by an alligator at Disney, right? If the alligator came and attacked that kid, it's like, well, if instead of people were saying, hey, you know, like, let's support that parent, let's support that child, if their response was, well, what did the baby do to provoke it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening. Like, what did you do to cause that? Versus that is an issue. And I think once people start to acknowledge that and understand why that having that stance is wild. That's the part I can't connect. Is how do you get there to if a police officer murders an unarmed, I'm not gonna say innocent because innocence is subjective in those cases
and that's the gray area of everything.
But unarmed, right? And your response is, well, what did they do to provoke the police officer versus, well, what is the action and was that action justified? Right? And looking at that and looking at the bigger thing. Like,
absolutely.
I think once people understand that and understand why that sounds wild.
Absolutely.
Or even get past the fact, even with just the kneeling of Kaepernick, like the fact that he kneels and he tells you that my kneeling is in regards to police brutality and the disproportionate treatment of police to people of color. And your response is, but the flag.
Have a seat on the pine.
That's the part that most of us can never get past because, okay, cool, I understand that you have feelings about the flag and reverence and all that stuff. That's fine, you're justified in having that. But let's have a conversation about police brutality and your response is, no, the flag. That's where we can't get past.
Absolutely. I've heard a lot of people in response to Colin Kaepernick's decision making and kneeling for the flag. They always ask, what has he done? And I think it's important to bring up somebody's action and also explain why they're doing what they're doing and also explain what they've done. I heard a lot of people say, well, what has he done but kneel? I mean, I think that the media takes a image of an individual and can create a narrative about that person based on one image that they use. I mean, Colin Kaepernick could be kissing his bicep and the headline could say X player causes disruption at NFL games, and
sure.
Your mind is going to process that information differently. So I'm going to
Clear
explain as of June 2nd of this year, Colin Kaepernick has donated $700,000 to various charities across the United States of America. Grassroots Leadership, the American Friends Service Committee. He's done multiple things in regards to raising money for different organizations. I have a better list for you next time we revisit this. So we just keep you guys updated on
even then,
what he's doing.
He commissioned a plane and food to be sent to Somalia, if I'm not mistaken, to help hungry people over there. Like he stood outside and was giving suits away outside New York to people to try to help them get jobs. Like he's done a whole lot. But my bigger context with that is, if somebody responds of, well, tell me what he's done, my response is, I know what he's done. Why do I need to be the center of knowledge for you?
Right,
Google.
Exactly. And that's why I say education is so key.
Google it.
Education is very important, guys.
You have all the access in the world to find it out. Just Google it. You will get the information. I shouldn't have to be the one to explain it to you.
You're listening to The Pine.
Absolutely. So you can, however you feel about him, if you feel like he is being a lightning rod for something positive, you can visit his website, Kaepernick7.com, and join into his $1 million pledge. No different from pledges and charities that, the Red Cross has placed out there JJ Watt, who was also an NFL player, is based out there. Everybody should get involved with their fellow man. I personally have donated clothes, and that's who I should have gave my shout out to. Clothes, water, me and a group of my coworkers. Shout out to those people I work with, those great individuals.
Shout out.
We sent, and specifically Sashel Slaughter and Lavion. Actually, they're married. Excuse me. Lavion King and Sashel King.
Clear up.
Purchased a budget truck and sent a bunch of supplies, and it was a really big undertaking. Sent a bunch of stuff to Houston. So just being aware and being active in the things that you need to do and knowing where to go is important. So Kaepernick7.com, you can do your $1 million pledge there. And just get involved. I mean, start the discussion. That's why we brought you this podcast. We're mixing a lot of stuff in here. We're just going to switch the tone a little bit, right? Around the NFL, Kyrie Irving versus Stephen A. Smith was a hilarious thing to me. I'm Team Kyrie. I don't believe in the flat earth thing, but I do believe in questioning everything. You know, asking questions about things. That's how you start narrative discussions. Do you think Kyrie did a good job stating to Stephen A. why he did what he did, why he decided to leave? And we'll have a soundbite for you, but do you feel like he made the right move in expressing why he wanted to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers and start his own narrative?
I don't think he needs to justify anything to anybody. At the grand scheme of things, like, I don't need an answer from Kyrie. You want to leave, you want to leave. In the grand scheme of things, like, that's his decision. He's a professional. That's his career, his life. He needs to take it in his own hand. I think that applies to not just sports. That applies to people in their jobs. Like, at the end of the day, you got to advocate for yourself and what's the best thing for you, because the organization isn't always going to have your best interest at heart. So the second you stop being valuable to an organization, they're gonna move you on too. So you gotta make that decision for yourself. And
we've seen this. Enes Kanter, it was funny. Enes Kanter was just praising. Okay, and I know this is your organization, Jay, but they were just praising. He was praising OKC. 100%. He was like, "I'll ride for OKC. I'll do anything for OKC." And then he wakes up and he's on the New York Knicks now. Shout out to Enes Kanter for coming to the Knicks.
Shout
Whether
out.
it was your choice or not.
Man, it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day. And again, even outside of sports, that still applies. But if we're keeping it in sports context, it is a business, and you can't expect loyalty and demand loyalty from athletes in one context, and then as soon as they stop being valuable, want them to be gotten rid of, right? So like, and then be upset the fact that they want to advocate for themselves. So I have absolutely zero problem with Kyrie moving. With Kanter, like that was a mutually beneficial relationship. OKC took care of him, he took care of OKC. As soon as they had the opportunity to move, they moved him when they needed to, and it didn't like they put him in a bad position. They put him in a situation where he actually would probably be able to start and and make a difference somewhere. So he's gonna be good to go. It's not like they put him in Atlanta. I don't know, Orlando somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
it cannot be any Atlanta slander.
I got no problem with the Hawks, but you know that's a G League team when you look at it
Have a seat
to other teams. Like they're young, and they don't have a lot of standout pieces, but you know they'll get there. They got pieces and they have good coaching, so like that will develop in time there. Because I actually like some of the pieces they have. Bazemore is way overpaid, but you know keep it moving with that.
Keep it moving.
But yeah, no, I got zero problem with Kyrie.
Super.
Shout out to all the teams that are rebuilding right now. Since I've been in Atlanta, I've kind of become a little homer for them. I want to see what they do. I want them to be great. I want the Hawks to be great. I'm proud of what Dan Quinn did to the Falcons. So shout out to those rebuilding efforts.
I agree. Like I want the Hawks to be great. I want the Falcons to continue to be great. I want the Braves to be great. All that's good for the city. I don't have any particular beef or hatred or malice toward any of those teams. I want them to be great.
Jay, tell the people where you're from, Jay.
I'm from Maryland. originally, but I grew up in Georgia, so but I never was a fan. But I've never been a fan of the Georgia teams. Like I can track all my fandom back. So as a kid, when it comes to NFL, I was a 49ers fan up until the Ravens became a thing, and then I've been with the Ravens ever since. In the
Shout out.
NBA, I was a Chicago Bulls and Seattle Supersonics fan all the way through, and then I got tired, and Michael Jordan left, so I was off from the Bulls, and I stayed with the Sonics, and I've been with the Sonics the entire time. So as they transitioned to Oklahoma City, we had a lot of dark years in that time period.
You're
and
listening
if
to
Russ
the
don't sign
Pine.
this contract extension, we got some dark years ahead of us again. But it's OKC to the day I die.
And I can't wait to get on that topic. That is going to be, it's going to be funny to get your perspective from it, just because of the teams that we represent. But my last question for you is, who got it worse? One of my last questions for you in regards to Kyrie versus Steph, KD versus Kevin Hart. That's the next two guys I'm going to bring up.
Okay.
Kevin Durant apparently had an egg avatar Twitter account and was roasting fans in regards. And we know that I didn't realize that KD was as big of a trash talker as he is. Like, he's on the trash talker level like KG. I didn't realize that.
You must not follow his regular Twitter account, because he'd be roasting fans on that too.
I know it seems like it's picked up since he won the championship too, and I respect the Grim Reaper. Shout out to him. But who got it worse? KD getting exposed for using fake accounts, or Kevin Hart getting exposed for his extramarital affairs?
First, I do not advocate cheating here.
You're listening to the
And Kevin
Pine.
Hart, that was a poor decision that you made, sir, as a married man of a pregnant woman who's on the verge of having the child. But KD. not even close. Kevin Hart gonna be Kevin Hart.
KD is more hated than Kevin Hart.
100%.
We got to hear first.
100%, because listen, as somebody who is a big KD fan,
Have a seat on the
he
Pine.
is showing a lot of this summer has not been good to him. He's showing a lot of signs of some.
He's basically Randy Moss and he's mooning the fans right now.
What they used to call it, bitch assness. That's what they used to say. He's showing a lot. He's showing a lot of that, and that's one of my favorite players on the court. The guy, and off the court, like, he's a good guy from all accounts. I got a fun story that somebody I know told me about meeting KD. That we'll catch up.
We need to hear it. Let's get it here.
Catch up.
Hot takes right now.
It's another. No, it's more just him being nice.
Another episode?
Yeah,
All right, y'all gonna have to tune in for the KD story. We got that coming for y'all.
But you shouldn't just stick to your convictions. You know what I mean? Like, you won a championship, you've gone over a year. Like, why are you still fixated on having to justify why you left OKC? And then
I definitely think it's a pride issue. It's an ego.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
an
also
ego
to do it
thing.
from a separate account. Like, say it from your account.
Yeah, that was kinda-
own it.
yeah.
If that's how you feel, own
Own
it.
it.
But like, at the same time, like,
On the bench,
yeah,
please.
move on, bro. Like, it's gone. It's over. It's over. Like, it's done. What's done is done. It's cool. You're gonna be not liked. Like, if you wanted to still be liked in that community and liked by that fan base, then you would have stayed. Regardless, you left. So you got to own
Right.
it. Just like LeBron had to own the entire state of Ohio hating him for a series of years, right? Like,
And they
you
still
gotta
do.
own it.
People still do, despite him bringing a championship to them. They
Well,
still
he
do
also
hate
looked
him.
like he about to leave again, so they
Right.
they really gonna hate him to go to LA. But yeah, you just gotta own it. Like, just stick to your convictions, and that's the one thing. Like, I'd rather you just be you and own what your issues are and just stick to it. Like, over time, like, you can grow and change your mind and all that stuff like that, but you don't have to justify it anymore, man. We've moved on as a fan base. Well, at least I have, and I think a lot of people have. Like,
Did you burn the jersey, Jay?
no, I would never do that because
Sit
I
back.
spent money on that.
I spent money on my
That's wild. That's wild to me that you can burn a lot of money like that. Burn a jersey.
Carmelo
season
Anthony. I got a jersey. I got a Melo jersey from my uncle when he came to the Knicks, and it was one of my greatest. I love it. I mean, I still cherish the thing. And the fact of the matter is, I will not burn Carmelo Anthony's jersey now that he has moved to OKC.
You seen that
I
picture
wouldn't-
of the person with the Durant jersey and they duct tape the name and because the ant on Durant, now they put Anthony on it and it changed. The
We gotta
number
find
two.
that guy, give him a shout out. We gotta find that guy, give him a shout out.
I died laughing at that picture.
Shout out to social media because it's single-handedly one of the greatest things and the worst things that this generation is using right now. So shout out to it. It's great for information. It's great for lives.
I've been on the Hoodie Mellow wave all summer, so I'm here for this. Let's go Hoodie Mellow.
Shout out. Now, this is so funny, man. And this shows, I think we live in the Matrix. We wanted to do a podcast, right? Mm-hmm. We just transitioned from KD moving to Golden State. And my team's franchise player and Carmelo Anthony has now left and gone to OKC. The Ravens took a big L. The Jets normally take big L's. Yep. I mean, it's like we're swapping energies right now. And so how do you feel as an OKC fan with Melo going? I'm gonna say I'm happy for him. He was in a toxic relationship, toxic situation. Yes, he was in the metropolitan city, big city of dreams. He was representing the Latin fan base there, just bringing a lot to the table. But goodness gracious, was it a painful several years, him being in that orange and blue. So how do you feel him going into a different shade of orange and blue in OKC?
So I think he actually is not the best fit, just based on what we know about his game and what we've seen from his game. But it's also the most unique situation he's been at as a player. So I thought he'd probably actually be a better fit in Houston with him, Chris Paul, and James Harden. But
I didn't want him to go to Houston because I knew he would get in trouble at the shake clubs in Houston. I'm just be honest with you.
My thought process is I think this is going to be a very unique situation because he's not coming in looked at as being the guy, right? You gotta think like he had to carry Denver on his back and couldn't get him over the hump. He brought to New York as like the savior, as the home guy coming in and trying to save the Knicks and couldn't hold it. He's coming into OKC as the third option in the grand scheme of things. And he's not gonna play like a third option, but you know, you had three guys on a team that are very ball dominant players. Don't operate well without the ball in their hands. Paul George probably a little bit better than the other two. But three guys that were the guy in their spaces. Now you have two guys coming to Russ's house, which is now Russ's second year of this being his team. But Russ, already a very good distributor, despite the fact that, you know, he's scoring 1 million points a game.
Super.
Now he does what he wants.
But now
he does what he wants.
100%. But now you have two people who actually can stretch the floor and create with themselves too, right? So Paul George can shoot. Carmelo Anthony can shoot. Carmelo Anthony's become a predominantly perimeter shooter. So now
I still think Melo can bang with them.
He can.
I don't think he wants to. I think he makes business decisions.
He 100% can. But now he's going to be technically a stretch four.
He will. Definitely will play that position.
Team, right? And let Adams be the goon on the court while Melo takes them out and creates space for Russ. And now you got people who can create space for Russ because now you have people in the lineup, in the starting lineup, that people actually are afraid to shoot. That people are not. So with Oladipo last year, talented kid, not a consistent shooter, and nobody's afraid of him shooting.
Is Victor Oladipo a better singer than a shooter?
Maybe.
Have you heard his audio, his songs?
Maybe.
I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna want to get your opinion for next episode.
And my thing is, Roberson is only out there for defense, and then shooting in the playoffs. Because for whatever reason, in the playoffs, he decides that he can shoot threes, and he'll knock all the corner threes down in the playoffs. But he's there for defense. But now, when Russ is penetrating, they got to make a real decision. Like, it used to be just collapse because we don't worry about them shooting. But now, if we collapse, Paul George is out there, Carmelo Anthony is out there. What are we going to do? And that now has made them dangerous. Very, 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 very dangerous.
Jay, are you copping League Pass this year just because of the team that you've assembled?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. But my support is unyielding regardless of who is on this team. But it's going to be interesting to see because what I would love to see is to see Paul George and Russ and then Olympic Melo. Because Olympic Melo did everything.
This is going to be, I definitely agree with you. Olympic Melo, the 3-point shot, the perimeter shooting is definitely going to be a major factor. And I'm so proud of the NBA.
Olympic Melo played defense too.
Did he? I didn't see that part.
Olympic
I'm not going to give you that.
Olympic Melo's getting steals. He was blocking
Look at the
shots.
competition, though. Look at the competition.
Listen, that's the Hawks.
You gonna have the Hawks callers tweeted that? It's gonna be bad, man.
We in the West, man. We're gonna have to deal with. I mean, we're gonna have to bring our A game every night. But if we can,
and that's what I'm saying. I shout
You're
out to
listening to the Pine.
Shout out to the new commissioner. Shout out to Silver. I used to reminisce about the old NBA, with the NBA on NBC theme song playing, and this is the first time coming into this season that I feel like the West is doing a good job representing that. If you want to juxtapose things, maybe Jordan is representing the Bulls coming from the East. Not that's a debate for a whole nother show, but he has the East on his back, and he's going to be taking this squad, this new assembled Cleveland Cavaliers, which is very deep into the Wild West, and it's going to be really good. The West gets to beat itself up, and the East is coming with LeBron, so it's going to be interesting to see how everything turns out.
Boston's going to be entertaining to watch. It's just not going to beat Cleveland yet.
I don't think so either, but I want to see it go 7 games.
About 2 years. Yeah, Boston's going to beat Cleveland out the East.
Yeah, LeBron. I think LeBron has probably 2-3 more years left to be at this peak efficiency that he's at.
Will be in Cleveland.
Exactly. So switching from basketball, the Invictus Games is going on in Toronto. Will you be watching?
No. No disrespect to the Invictus Games, but my television and sporting watching habits have drastically changed over time. A lot of times I catch up with things just by reading articles online. And if I happen to catch it on TV, yeah, but ESPN has dwindled down on my preferred channel list, as well as other sporting networks, despite being somebody who's very in tune with sports.
We need to go in depth on that too. We got a lot to talk about later on. You guys tune into the Pine Podcast episode 2, because we're gonna go into J Hart's mind in regards to that.
That's a scary
pop culture. Listen, mine's is too. That's why we're helping each other right now. All right, so this is scary for me too. Tom Brady was in a Beats commercial with Kendrick Lamar's DNA playing behind it, and it like my pupils dilated. I mean, it was the most contradictory thing I ever saw in my life. How do you feel about it? I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Tom Brady was making business deals while Kendrick was using his funk and rhythmic tones to channel positivity to the people. How did this happen? Who made this happen? You said so many different things.
You said Tom Brady.
Apple down on Beats. What is going on?
I'm already over that. Just go back to doing Uggs commercials, bro. I do want some Uggs though, because Tom Brady makes me uncomfortable. But
no, I do not want Uggs, because what if they put Uggs? What is this brand association? Uggs and Kendrick Lamar. Like, does that even go together?
Listen, Kendrick done glowed up.
He does, but he's not glowed up where he could sell out like that. Okay. Speaking of music, and beats, and Tom Brady listening to Kendrick Lamar, I don't even know if Tom Brady knows who Kendrick Lamar is.
No, he knows. Tom Brady knows who Kendrick Lamar is. Tom Brady is probably way more in tune with thing, but he be wearing MAGA hats.
Is Robert Kraft in tune? Because that's his franchise players. I thought don't those guys ride with Donald Trump? I mean,
Tom
I'm
Brady
confused.
100% rides with Donald Trump.
Have a seat on the pine.
This is the part where I at least can understand and minimally respect Tom Brady off the field. Is he flat out just said, I'm not speaking on anything going on in the NFL.
Like, I'm not trying to mess up my money flow.
I'm good.
I'm like,
good.
I want the checks coming in.
Thank you. I'd rather you just stay out of it. I'd rather you just stay out of it, bro. If you got nothing to say, I'd rather you just not say anything, and I can appreciate that.
I'm gonna let the viewers know right now, I cannot stand Tom Brady. You will hear Tom Brady blasted on the show multiple times, so be prepared for that. If you with me, join in the conversation. If you against me,
that touchdown
contact
to beat Houston though. That was Tom Brady prime top flight classic Tom Brady.
Shout out, and I can't diminish his game, but I can talk about the fact of how he achieved these things. And by cheating, I'm a Jets fan. Remember that, guys. All right. Yep. We had to deal with Spygate. We had to deal with multiple things. I completely ride with the Atlanta Falcons fans for getting ripped off in the Super Bowl like that. So it's multiple things. Tom Brady.
I can't justify.
Stop listening to Kendrick.
That was just an L that y'all took.
Kendrick is not for you, Tom Brady.
All right.
Rhapsody. This great artist that I discovered. We both know about Knife Wonder. Jay, your music knowledge goes way deeper than mine. I listened to this Rhapsody album, produced by Knife Wonder. It's got some great features. Kendrick Lamar is on the album.
Track two.
Track 2. Tell me about that. I'm confused.
That's the one with Kendrick on it.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. That is the one with the Kendrick on it. Everybody should check this out. If you got Tidal, Apple Music, check out Rhapsody's album. It is fantastic. A lot of great beats, a lot of great rhythms, a lot of great sounds. So check that out.
It's a great rap album.
What's your review of it right now?
It's a great rap album from a female MC.
Super.
All right, Rhapsody or Cardi B, or they both can eat. Like I shouldn't be pitting them against each other, right? Everybody can eat.
But you're not listening to Cardi B to hear her lyrical content. Rhapsody gonna give you content.
She was dropping knowledge. I respect Rhapsody. It's not enough female rappers being represented in the game right now. So shout out to anybody that wants to contribute to the pot that is culture, musical culture. Just keep making good stuff. Like we spoke about the guy from One Direction last time who made a great album. Yep. Name escapes me. So just continue to keep putting music into the music pot for everybody to hear. Now this movie's kind of old, and I saw it like the weekend it came out. Have you checked it out?
Nope.
Are you scared to see it?
Nope. Just haven't had any one time to interest, even though I hear it's pretty good.
It's very good. Everybody should check it out. I didn't see the original. You can call me a millennial for that.
I definitely.
But this movie really did it. Ozark. Have you heard of Ozark?
Ozark. I am on episode 9 or so.
Shout
Still
out.
trying to finish it up.
I know nothing about it. Put me on.
Great show. So it gives you.
You're
it's going to
listening
not
to
really
the
be an
Pine.
accurate description of this, but it gives you some of that Breaking Bad feel.
I was thinking that.
A little bit of the Breaking Bad feel. It's not executed as well or as crisp or as Breaking Bad was, but Jason Bateman moves money for a cartel, and I don't want to give too many plot details, but something goes awry in the first 15 minutes of the first episode, and he navigates his way out of a very bad situation, and convinces them that he can wash their money and based out of the Ozarks in like Missouri, and that's where the name comes from, and that's where your story begins.
Once again, shout out to Netflix. Shout out to Netflix with the original. Keep them coming.
Season 3 of Narcos, maybe the best season of Narcos they put out, and that's wild to say because the first 2 seasons were so good. Season 3 might be the best season.
I got a lot of homework to do.
Yeah, you need Narcos.
Narcos and Ozark. Y'all also, if you got HBO, it's kind of old. It replaced Game of Thrones for me, but it is Westworld. Westworld's pretty dope.
Yeah, I heard pretty good thing about Westworld. I'm still trying to finish up Silicon Valley and Ballers this past season of Ballers.
We got a lot of work to do, man. We're gonna keep you guys updated on our perspectives, plot points, everything. Did you know that there was a Streamy Awards? Like I was on Twitter yesterday.
I did not.
And there is something called the Streamy Awards, and basically, YouTube personalities nominate each other and take awards home for content that they provided to the online community. I have more research to do and more homework to do, and I wanted to give them a shout out because we're doing this online thing. We're streaming our podcast online, posting it on YouTube and multiple other platforms, but shout out to people trying to create a new venue. I mean, it was definitely like a Oscars kind of ish MTV movie music awards show, but it was straight like online content. So hopefully this thing builds up. I'm sure you can probably see a recap of it. It's basically like viral videos. Okay. And awards given to those viral videos. So streamies, check the streamies out.
All these award shows are gonna be going that direction anyway. So don't be surprised you start seeing, especially with the ratings that these award shows have been getting, that you start seeing the MTV Awards finally just done digitally online instead of having such a big production and do it on MTV. And I think you're going to see that going forward. They're years behind where they should have been with that, but that's probably going to happen. I'm worried about these podcast awards. When we get this popping, we need to be trying to get on these podcast awards.
I'm going to do some more research because we're going to get this show to the popping, like you said. We're going to get this to the best ability, sound ability, music, culture. We want to bring the best product
Ray, I'm already ready to sell out. So let's. I'm trying to get on a network. Like, who got a podcast network that they want to get a culturally relevant, smart, funny sports and pop culture podcast on their network that they don't already have? Come holler at us. We here.
We got work to do. Come holler at us.
Listen, you give us like 6 more episodes, we in this thing. So come holler at us now. Get it on the ground floor.
Yeah, start now. Like, don't come at us later and say, I just got on this podcast. Support us now. All right, support us now. Cut us that check now. We're waiting for it. We need it.
Let me shout out to the mid-roll too. So if you don't know what the mid-roll is, I'm trying to get some advertisers. So shout out to the mid-roll. Shout out to all the podcast networks as we're trying to navigate and protect our political relationships. So again, holler at us if you're looking to get on the ground floor of a great podcast that's future to be one of the top podcasts in this genre on the iTunes charts. Maybe
claim it, bro. Claim it.
Speak it into existence.
Speak it. Listen, I need you to speak some NFL season predictions as we end the show. Based on what you've seen through 3 weeks, what do you think? Who? Give me your top 4 teams in the NFL, and I'm saying conference championship games. Top 4 teams right now.
Based on what we've seen so far.
Based on what we've seen so far.
I think we are going to see Patriots Chiefs rematch. That's even without Eric Berry there.
Okay.
They're doing just enough offensively and getting a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. So, yeah, I think Chiefs Patriots.
You're listening to the Pine.
Then the NFC. I'm gonna go Falcons. I'll go Falcons.
Super.
And, I'm gonna go Falcons. Vikings.
The Vikings are very good, and they don't even have Sam Bradford playing right now.
Shout out.
Dalvin Cook makes a lot of difference. And the defense playing as well as they've played makes a lot of difference. So if they can keep just getting their playmakers the football, like that's going to be a hard combination to beat. But my honorable mention in the AFC actually is the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
And then the NFC would be I'll probably have to go with I hate to say it. Yeah, I'll have to go with the Cowboys.
I can't believe you.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out.
Shout out to the Cowboys. Shout out to Dak Prescott. He's on my fantasy football team. And he is helping me win a large sum of money currently. I'm currently 3-0.
Let's spend 5 minutes talking about this fantasy football thing.
Let's talk about it, man. Let me give my prediction real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick, AFC. That's how much I love the Jets. I said AFC East. I got the Chiefs. I got the Steelers in the AFC title game. And I have in the NFC the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers in a rematch.
Okay, I can see that. If the Steelers and Chiefs play, who gonna win? Because I have the answer.
I'm gonna have to ride with the Steelers with just experience, man. I want the Chiefs to do it, but they got a young squad, and I think when you get down to those cold football games when people are, players are stepping on each other's cleats. Y'all didn't know about that. They step on each other's cleats off the line, mess each other's feet up.
Clear up.
But just when it gets to that like dirty like that, I gotta ride with the Chiefs, man. I gotta ride with the Steelers.
Here's the right answer. Who's playing at home? Because if the Steelers are at home, then I agree. But if the Steelers are on the road, no, Chiefs are winning that game because Ben has shown
Arrowhead does get loud.
Ben, it's less about the Chiefs and more about Ben has shown us that on the road, he is pitiful.
Listen, those are our season predictions. We're going to see how long they last. I mean, and they are subject to change barring injury, but that's what we got right now. Jay, we just did a trade last night, all right? And I know you want to talk about this fantasy football thing.
Less about the trade and more about these teams. So,
all right, let's talk about
Listen, I'm looking at people's teams, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out how are they winning.
Shout out to NFL.com and their fantasy platform. Shout out.
So,
I'm sitting here. I'm looking at my team. I'm looking at my lineup, and I'm looking at everybody else, and I'm just confused. Because
okay. Now I spoke to somebody about your team last night, and they looked at me and they said, "How is this dude 0-3?" I'm gonna put you on blast.
I agree. How am I 0-3? I'm
gonna put you on blast.
I'm 100% confused.
Jay,
which sparked this trade that we had to have because
we had to.
I'm like,
and it might get vetoed, man. We got a lot of. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Historically, Jay, you've been in this league. We've been in this league together for 3 years now. I want to say
it might be 4, man.
It might be 4 years. And historically, nobody makes trades after the draft. Like, it just does not happen. Like, people are prideful.
Trades, either this. Nobody makes a trade with these level of players.
I mean, Jay, I'm gonna read your team out to the people, and I hope we get some callback, some responses to help you out to figure out what's going wrong.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins is, I think, in the top 5. Has one of the top 5 QB rankings this season.
Well, that's based on this past weekend. This past week, pushed him up.
You've got Zeke Elliott, who is a absolute stud. He had to deal with a lot of like off the field issues, but his play hasn't diminished. You got Carsons, the Seattle Seahawks running back, who is just an absolute beast. I mean, he was a seventh round pick. I think he may have been undrafted. It's one of those two.
This is the thing. You gotta put some context. He's just put into the lineup now because that was Dalvin Cook's spot.
That's true. The trade went through.
Well, when the trade goes,
you got Dalvin Cook on the bench. Okay,
when the trade goes through, but I almost started
celebrating.
When the trade goes through,
right.
that was Dalvin. But that before this, that was Dalvin Cook's spot. So the lineup was Cousins, Zeke, Dalvin Cook. All right, now keep going.
Super.
You had a squad like those top 3 right there. Like you need to have one win. I don't know what's going on. Adam Thielen, who is always balling out, fantastic hands, great route running, really solid player. Martavius Bryant, who is the number 2 receiver in the Steelers offense. Fantastic talent too.
Devontae Parker. Week, but he'll be there. Devontae Parker had a great week.
You're gonna have a good week. He's going against the Saints, man. Come on.
Oh, he's gonna turn up.
He's gonna turn up. He's going off. You got Austin Hooper, all right, who had the mean stiff arm. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, one great week.
Mean stiff arm. Put somebody underneath the crust of the earth.
Shout out
Terrence West, who you're high on. I don't really know about him, man.
They're gonna run the ball a lot, but again, he wasn't even in the lineup. The flex spot this past weekend was Carson, and Dalvin Cook was in the lineup.
Okay,
so this is the lineup, assuming the trade is gonna go through before I make my edit.
Listen, listen. I'm predicting you right now. We need to start our prediction counter. I'm putting up the prediction that they're gonna smack the trade down because I'm 3-0 and I'm the commissioner, so it just looks bad. I've had people tell me, Rossano, it just looks bad. Okay. You got the Ravens defense,
which this past weekend didn't do me any justice. The previous weeks has been great.
The Ravens defense, because you're a homer, but shout out.
Yep.
On his bench, David Johnson, who is inactive as of right now.
And only Terrell Pryor, who's having, I think he's gonna come back early.
Terrell Pryor, who's not having the best season this year.
That should be their top receiver.
And I saw what I noticed you didn't trade him. I see what you did. I see what you did.
Well, no, you were a New Yorker, so I figured you want Brandon Marshall.
I don't like this Brandon Marshall. I like the 2012. I know, what was that? 2015 Brandon Marshall.
Offense didn't figure out how to play until the fourth quarter this past weekend, and he ended up with 8 catches. So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook, absolute beast. on the bench. He's part of a trade. Let's talk to the people about the trade that we did. I gave you Mike Evans, who is having a frustrating year right now, but he's still going to get big production. J. Hart, you must have some kind of conspiracy theory to give up Dalvin for Mike.
I think see again. So one, when you trade people, you gotta have something that's mutually beneficial. What I'm gonna do? Trade you Chris Carson's and Terrell Pryor for Mike Evans? You know what I mean? Like
no, I couldn't take that.
You know what I mean? Like I need you go if you're gonna give up your number one receiver realistically, because you can make that argument that he's your number one receiver on your team. The way that Cook has been playing on my team, he's been the number one running back, right? So if I'm gonna give up a number one, I need to make it sweet and make it some kind of mutually beneficial, right? Because I have running backs. You don't have running backs.
I have nothing.
Which is why you being undefeated blows my mind. And there's nothing against you because you've been putting together the roster that you put together has been showing up, but you don't have any running backs.
Now, is this not a testament?
You got negative one running back.
Skills right now?
You got negative one running back.
To the pine.
It's horrible, guys. I have a horrible. This is an anomaly that I'm 3-0, and I'm going to take it too.
With 3-0 in standard scoring, that's the double
PPR, part. And I drafted heavy receivers
with negative one running back. So, yeah, I had to listen. I gotta shoot my shot. So it ain't gonna get any worse. I'm just gonna keep losing, or I'm gonna finally figure it out, right? So I'm okay giving up my number one running back to get a number one receiver that I know
my first overall pick. I'm giving up.
That I know is a top target. That at least I can feel confident that he's gonna get looks, right? I can't put that same trust in Terrell Pryor.
No, you can't. But if Terrell Pryor ends up going off, you're probably gonna win the league. You'll probably be the first team ever to go from 0-3 and win the championship.
Listen, I hit a 4-game winning streak to end last year and just missed the playoffs. So
you did.
I know you have patience to be on there, but I need to make a move now to try to figure out that piece. Like if Hooper, like my tight end situation is already a mess too, but I got enough running backs that I can feel confident that if I can move one. I still got Zeke, who looked like he's gonna play all season. I still got Carson, who's going to be the starter going forward. I still got Terrence West, who's going to get the ball because Joe Flacco, for whatever reason, just forgot how to pass the football right now. So he's going to run the ball a lot. If he's healthy, he's going to run the ball a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good with running backs. I know, and especially if they get down the goal line, Terrence West is getting the football. So I know I'm good with running backs because you need touchdowns with them.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
But yeah, this is the best, most trash team ever.
Shout out to our fantasy football league too, because people have been contributing. Jay, somebody, one of my coworkers, a really awesome person, who's all about having fun, likes the pageantry of winning. He bought himself a championship ring from last season in another league, but this season he's created a crown with the Smash Mouth logo on the front of it, so the winner gets that. It's currently in my place right now, sitting on my bookshelf. All right, at the top, the uppermost bookshelf. So shout out to Tim Abernathy for creating that for the league and for the league champion. So Jay, if you come back, I might let you hold it. Okay.
The comeback gonna happen.
All right.
And the funny part is my other major legacy fantasy football league, I'm 3-0. I'm undefeated.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're doing.
But that lineup's kind of fire for this PPR because I got Mariota, Melvin Gordon, Carlos Hyde, Stephon Diggs, Pierre Garçon, Gronk, the Jags defense. Like that team, I figured that one.
I don't think you drafted. I don't think the talent level is good though, man. Come on. How did you get? I'm not even gonna hate because I got Mariota and Diggs in another league too. League.
So this is a keeper league, right? So with my keepers were Mariota, Gordon, and Gronk. So my first two picks were already taken. Was Gronk, and I've had Gronk as a keeper for the past 3 seasons, and then Melvin Gordon's been my keeper for the past 2 seasons. So Those two went 1 and 2 for me in this draft, so they were already taken, right? Mariota, I drafted last year, like round 14 or something. So round 3 through round 13, I had all the time in the world to just pick who I wanted to pick. So I had a lot of time, and everybody else had keepers in those time frames, right? So like all your top name players you could think of were probably keepers. So all I had to do is now pick and choose who I need to fit spaces, and trying to do a little bit of research and knowing this PPR. Okay, running back wise, Carlos Hyde been getting passes and runs all through preseason.
Yeah,
so
he's a workhorse.
I get workhorse. Cool. He gonna get 3 downs again. 3 down running back. Cool. I know Garcon is their number 1 target right now for receiver. So if I gotta pick a receiver, I'm gonna grab Garcon. Diggs, people just slept on him.
Sleeping. I traded him for AJ Green. I got Diggs and Sean McCoy back, so I was happy. I'm happy about that.
Yep, turning up. So I picked up James White, and he's going to be, depending on who the Patriots play, slide him into that flex position. Been successful with that. I picked up Duke Johnson off the waivers because somebody dropped him. I was like, all right, slide it, picked him up, and he turned up this past weekend. So I made some smart decisions, and I got the future in my bench. So my bench is got Corey Davis from the Titans, who when he's on the field, like Mariota's been targeting him. Galladay from Detroit might be the next Calvin Johnson for them. If Matt Stafford,
we're gonna have to revisit that in another podcast.
That's from them, not from me. That's
on
from
the bench,
okay.
please.
Hot take.
Alex Smith is my backup quarterback. Like we good. This team is okay. We gonna be moving.
Jay, I'm 3-0.
Listen. When this trade go through, we're gonna figure it out.
Jay, I'm 3-0. Listen, we're gonna wrap the show up. We thank you so much for tuning in, listening to us. You got a quote for the people today?
No, I'm gonna let you have that one.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Wayne Gretzky.
Hey.
Shout out to Wayne Gretzky.
Let me do my my Joe Button drum roll. Hey.
We got to get some Joe Budden sound bites on here too. It's a must. Shout out to Jay for putting me on the Joe Budden. We'll see you soon.
Peace.